holidays are rolling by and everyone is excited, as all of Ponyville and all the creatures are happily united. But alas, the stress and the panic is up and about, as getting gifts for their close ones is ruckus and chaos all around. Please excuse my attire, for I'm admittedly a fan of Rudolph, though I do take compliment to being called an adorable goof-off. Fret not, I won't rhyme the whole time, that would be annoying to hear, so you can prepare yourself relievingly with a nice cup of cheer. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves together, for this is GoldenFox reviewing the special, The Best Gift Ever. So this was rather surprising to me, as I never expected there to be an individual special before. While there have been Equestria Girls and their own shorts, there really wasn't much else I can get from MLP itself. So seeing this as a pretty big occasion, there was a lot to anticipate to, or at least for me that is, since I enjoy watching episodes that revolve around Hearthswarming Eve. And for the most part, it was very entertaining. I got some laughs and it was very relatable to its central theme. There are some hiccups here and there, but they won't ruin the special at all. In fact, there was a lot of effort put into this, and it all concludes itself very heartwarmingly. So basically, it's the last day before Hearthswarming Eve, and the holiday clusterfuck is hitting hard. And by explaining so, the special immediately begins with our first song.
One more day before the cheer. Shop, big, box, rap, boom, repeat. One last chance before the holidays here. Box, rap, boom, again. One more day to make the holiday great. One more day before we celebrate. One day and then it's here. One more chance to bring that holiday cheer.
Just when I thought that Hearthswarming Eve is here once again put a smile on my face, this song gives it a run for its money and puts me into a stupider grin. There is so much variation and effort put into this. Having the main melody and adding lyrics between the chorus lines about wrapping gifts adds so much going on, while still maintaining an upbeat and cheery atmosphere, and fittingly fast-paced since everyone is in a hurry. This also brings our main characters involved in the same conflict of the special. Barely over a minute in, and this immediately gets me connected as everyone else goes through this phase of holiday shopping. Finally, we're shown Twilight as she goes through another one of her meltdowns until she is conned by Applejack.
Hey, Twilight. How's your day?
I got way behind grading midterms, and Cadence and Shining Armor are coming here with Flurry Heart for Hearthswarming Eve, and I haven't started decorating, and I don't know what to get any of you.
Stop. Take a breath. Now let it out slow.
And you all thought she was a background pony. Ha! In your face! So by easing the job, Applejack suggests an option in the main 6 where each one pulls a note with their name on it and gets them one gift from that said name. That's a pretty clever way to speed up the process, and it has been done before with my family from time to time. Sometimes you can't get a gift for everyone, and that's okay. There were many occasions where I couldn't get everyone gifts, nor did I get a gift from everyone else. And personally, I prefer it that way. It relieves stress and frustration that are on everyone else's shoulders. I tend not to think about gifts I may get anyway, because doing so would not only disregard the true meaning of Christmas, but it would also set your expectations way too high, and the excitement that you would have would only be underwhelming afterwards and may even go south. Anyways, they all agree to pick out their names, and thus becomes the main plot of the special. Everyone goes to various places and obstacles to achieve whatever gift they get for their picked friend. Throughout all these separate plot threads, I'll first talk about Twilight and Pinkie Pie. It seems a little off at first that Pinkie would have a hard time on what to get Twilight, since according to Party Poop, she plans a lot of parties in advance and carries a list of likes and dislikes, and Twilight's was the first read out loud. However, she does claim that she wants the gift to be extra special, so in her case, it seems to be a bit more thought put into her head than usual. By doing so, she travels across Equestria and goes up to the Northern Pass as explained by Prince Rutherford. After her major travels, we're introduced to a trio of reindeer, Aurora, Bori, and Alice. These 3 reindeer are cutely designed, but don't get me wrong, it was easy to tell that these characters were just carbon copies of existing pony designs. Even so, some characters are similar to others. Aurora looks similar to Granny Smith, Bori is reminiscent of Mrs. Cake, and even has a mixing bowl brought forth. Really, DJX? You couldn't even bother to hide that? And there's Alice. Well, okay, I can't compare her to anyone else. But point being, there have been many different character designs in the past where they were unique and interesting. To its credit, there is a lot of detail put into these 3, so I shouldn't be that critical. And it really isn't a deal breaker either. For the most part, I appreciate the personalities that resemble the past, present, and future, and become a useful plot point at the end of the special as Pinkie is given Twilight's present. Speaking of Twilight, she finally comes to the conclusion on what's the best gift for Pinkie.
Cupcakes? Nah. Cookies? Nope. Pies? Pastries? Pudding? Wait. Pudding!
And there goes yet another addition of character expressions to the roster of MLP-centered memes. Understatement of the fucking century. Unfortunately, because she was so busy on the gift, she lost track on decorating the castle as Cadence and Shining Armor pay a visit. And I have to say that this married couple has been a lot of fun to watch in the special. They look out for each other and show their absolute best as they help ease out Twilight, and in a much later scene, they make a great team during the final act confronting with the living embodiment of pudding, which is actually more hilarious than you'd expect. Unfortunately, that cause is led by Flurry Heart as Cadence and Shining Armor are ADD and not taking notice that their own daughter is sabotaging Twilight's pudding recipe. Seriously? She's in your eyesight! While that's happening, Fluttershy and Applejack encounter the Flim and Flam brothers as Fluttershy gets scammed into purchasing a cheap doll that is priced way more than it should. This unfortunately delivers nothing new with Flim and Flam as once again they manipulate folks in getting their bits increased. And it's a shame because I like to see them grow and show a better side of a business role model than being demonized for the sake of cartoon, stereotypical sales villains. I've shown my distaste with them from my review of Super Speedy Side of Squeezy 6000, but not all business people are bad people. Yes, there are those who make dirty commitments, but there are those who help economically and show what is beneficial to others who need jobs. I don't mean to sound political, but the fact that there's no progression of these two is very disappointing as they influence younger audiences that business role models are a corruptive influence, and I find that morally unhealthy. Considering that there have been a lot of villains who were redeemed and reformed, I would also prefer these two as an additional option.
The more you spend, the more your friend knows you love them.
Okay, I'll admit that was actually pretty funny. That and when Fluttershy makes a puny kick to a rock, referencing green and Cinder color.
I'm so mad I could just kick.
The moments between Applejack and Fluttershy, I found them enjoyable as they're equally challenged and benefited from each other. Applejack is challenged with her level of patience with Fluttershy, as Fluttershy is guided through Applejack's practicality. This is especially effective from episodes like Sounds of Silence. And I love that they both played up an act in getting back at the brothers, addressing that there's more to getting a gift than what's marketed the most. Rather, something that is personal, which rightfully bites them back in the ass. While there are some tweaks that could have been made, it's still a good subplot that delivers that important said message. Moving on to another pair of characters is Discord and Rainbow Dash. These took me a bit of patience to appreciate their moments as they're on the hunt for a small creature called a Winter Chilla. I don't see Discord with Dash as often as with Fluttershy, Spike, and Big Mac, but it isn't anything too fresh to the table as he pulls off another one of his trollish guided antics like in Season 4. The reason why it took me some patience to appreciate these two is because after Matter of Principles, I was very touchy with how Discord's character was handled, fearing that he may have been written backwards again as he pretty much touches on Dash's raw nerves. As is, Dash was very frustrated on what to get Fluttershy, and it seemed like Discord wasn't making her feelings any better. But in hindsight, he has done this troll guiding method before in a few other episodes, like the Breakup Breakdown and Dungeons and Discords. Plus, compared to Matter of Principles and What About Discord, his character is a bigger improvement as he still shows his care for Fluttershy, and that alone justifies why he does what he does in the special. He's even funnier at the end, pointing out the obvious and addressing a flaw that everyone else would have called out on.
A bit reindeer ex machina, but...
2 thumbs way up.
Rarity's subplot was a very heartwarming and touching journey that actually took me a while to get through. Up until that point, we first deal with a misunderstanding of Rarity's package being delivered in the wrong direction.
Oh, wait! It went to Sweet Acorn Orchard instead. Oh, well, that's a relief. Why is that a relief? Because Applejack's not in Sweet Acorn Orchard.
That frustration was too easily felt as Derpy hasn't done her job correctly. And it still makes me wonder how she still kept her job, especially after causing a severe injury on Twilight back in Season 1. Something like that would result in getting her fired in real life. But that's overthinking things, and I can already tell I'm already gonna get hate comments. Obviously, this scene was meant to be a plot convenience to enhance Rarity's story, but while it is nice to have Derpy's cameo, it seemed a bit more frustrating to deal with her compared to her other appearances like in Slice of Life. At least her appearance here served a better purpose than trying to dupe me in Rainbow Falls like a band-aid. So she wasn't badly written, it just made the moment unpleasant for me. However, upon reaching Sweet Acorn Orchard, she meets and learns the happiness of the family and their kid Pistachio, who receives Applejack's gift, which is a specially designed hat. While the gift was meant for her, Rarity sees how very happy Pistachio is, on top of the fact that he is a huge fan of Rarity.
Rarity? The Rarity?
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay for lunch. I won't take no for an answer.
I would be delighted.
And especially given how polite and dedicated they were, such as providing brief hospitality, Rarity is convinced that Pistachio would not only keep it, but also earn it. I was a bit mixed at first because it did seem depressing that Applejack wouldn't get her gift. However, while Rarity does apologize, Applejack addresses back that the hat sometimes chooses the pony and doesn't take anything too personal. This kind of plays up both the role for Pistachio and the fact that the holiday isn't always about gifts. Rather, it's about the happiness you bring. It's a sweet moment that Rarity confronts with, and it holds as my favorite subplot next to Twilight and Pinkie Pie's. But alas, there's Spike, and just when I thought Spike's connection with Rarity was died down, he once again goes back to his childhood crush as if he learned nothing about being platonic.
Applejack, is it against the rules to trade names? Like if I had a better idea for some pony special? I mean, specific? If you can figure out who has the pony you want, and they're okay with trading, I guess it's fine. Great! So, who do you? I don't have Rarity. What? That's not who I... Uh-huh.
So much for what I said in my review of Meltdown, implying that they were more platonic. God, that review was becoming more embarrassing. That review was already aged like spoiled milk as is. But either or, my biggest issue with this plot thread is that it goes nowhere and it repeats itself annoyingly throughout the series. It's been years already. Disparity shipping has overstayed its welcome, and I'd prefer that it concludes already. I like to see Spike grow up and get past his little crush and just be friends. But unfortunately that isn't the case as he manages to switch names to get Rarity's name. Now thankfully not all of this plot thread was that problematic, as what he tends to bring for Rarity is actually sweet and adorable. Instead of purchasing something, he decides to make his own, which is arguably more dedicated and tries to bring something from the heart. From what was originally a sparkly umbrella is then a song that he wrote for her, and it rightfully becomes the song that concludes the special, The True Gift of Giving.
The true gift of gifting is what it means inside. We can show we care, spreading love far and wide. The true gift of gifting is totally free, and you're the best there is at giving it, with the friendship that you give to me.
This is a very soft and satisfying song to hear, with lyrics providing importance of what it means in gifts and that it all comes with good intentions in the end. The special implies that the best gift is friendship, which is obviously the central theme of the show. However, based on what I've seen throughout this special, it really boils down to what is personal, connective, non-conventional, not always a part of major marketing, and overall what comes from the heart. Friends or family, we learn multiple ways about gift giving by understanding what their interest is, what is passionate with them, and what is directly meaning to them in their own eyes. While I have been crucial in a few places with this special, it doesn't take away the fact that this was such a wonderful experience to watch. Based on this song alone, I was more than satisfied to where I was ready to watch it a few more times. From where it stands, I loved watching this. All the main characters shined equally, the songs were catchy and beautifully composed, and there were some hilarious moments and there were some deep moments. And the messages was clear in so many ways based on what each character goes through and tying everything together. So in the end, this was a lot of fun to watch, for I hope that this review has given you some food for thought. This special isn't perfect, but it doesn't have to be, as long as it's meaningful to you as it is meaningful to me. This may be your favorite, but that's only for you to decide, as everyone has their own choice to make, both far and wide. Maybe this isn't your favorite and your feelings are quite different, but that's okay because all blindly agreeing is a major detriment. At most, I hope you enjoyed this review, even for flaws you can call. For until next time, I'm GoldenFox, wishing you happy holidays to you all.